After the Catalunya GP, we're sure that everybody said, "What a race!" The race was filled with lots of excitement, early retirements, crashes, and spins from the top 10 drivers that led to Hamilton and Magnussen falling back on the grid. And what an amazing performance from the 7-time world champion to finish in the top 5 places. Some negative comments can be added to Aston Martin's performance, as the team expected a lot more by copying the design of the Red Bull. Both of their drivers failed to pass first quarter on Saturday, and their performance wasn't even close to what everyone was expecting, as they failed to score a single point. So, where should we start? Let's go through the qualifications a little so you'll have an insight into the starting positions that were set for the race. One could not help but notice the miserable performance that Aston Martin had in the qualifying session in Catalunya. After all, they were called the Green Red Bulls for the whole weekend, and it's safe to say they haven't lived to 1% of the RB's capacity. Instead, both of their drivers finished below the 15 best drivers on the grid, along with Fernando Alonso, who also failed to reach second quarter, and both Williams, who are struggling too. With that being said, there is a lot of uncertainty in Aston Martin, and this could bring Vettel even closer to the retirement that he's been linked to at the start of the season. Another disappointment could be found in Verstappen's qualifying session. He hasn't been able to complete his opening lap due to the DRS flap not being able to open on the main straight, as Verstappen has abandoned his fast lap. Leclerc has used this to his advantage, managing to go plus 0.350 quicker than Verstappen, as they've completed the starting row. Mercedes was amazing throughout the whole weekend, and in second quarter one could say that they were up for a pole position fight. But they finished P4 and P6, with Sergio Perez in between them. One of the positive aspects in the qualifying session was the performance of Haas. Both of their cars have managed to go into third quarter, with Mick finally being able to enter this section of qualifying for the first time in his career. He didn't manage to climb any further, as he finished P10, but Magnussen was P8, and the most impressive part is that they haven't brought any updates to the car for Catalunya. Why is this so impressive? Because every other team has upgraded their cars for this GP. Imagine what they could do on the next races, possibly Silverstone. Will they bring the updates? So, up to the race. The start of the race was absolutely ecstatic. Carlos Sainz started bad, resulting in him getting passed from George Russell and Sergio Perez. But on the outside of Turn 4, Hamilton and Magnussen collided in a racing incident, as both of the drivers were trying to secure the higher spot. This has resulted in Magnussen being thrown on the gravel but still being able to continue the race, and Hamilton pitted right away with a puncture. After the pit stop, Hamilton said on the radio, "If I was you, I'd save this engine." "Sorry guys," to which his engineer Bono replied, "We're still hoping for points, possibly P8 or better." Hamilton pitted for medium component tires, and he has been an absolute beast as he managed to pass even Sainz at the end of the race, but had to let him through due to a possible DNF related to him overusing the car. What is more impressive is that Hamilton has managed to reach P5 without a safety car, and although the rest of the field he passed are classified as low-performing cars, we all know how Mercedes was struggling prior to Catalunya and how Hamilton struggled to pass Gasly and Imola, finishing P14. Apart from him, the leading pack did have some problems as well. The first one was in Carlos Sainz, as the Spaniard has failed to keep control of his car at Turn 4, spinning out in the gravel and dropping off to P10. However, he managed to keep the car running and was able to climb the ladder without any significant difficulties. One concerning fact is that Hamilton was able to pass Sainz without any problems, so Ferrari could be on the back foot when it comes to performance. Another spin has happened from the reigning world champion, Max Verstappen. He spun in the same place as Sainz but was able to keep better control of his car and only dropped 2 places behind Perez. Perez was instructed to let Max pass by as he entered the pits for a tire change. However, Verstappen had a problem with his DRS flap yet again, as it failed to open on several occasions on the main straight and the second DRS zone. When it opened, Verstappen was too far to fight Russell, who was defending his position as his life depended on it. However, after fixing the problem, Verstappen was able to pass George for P1. Wait, shouldn't he be P2? Leclerc is P1 for the majority of the race? Oh, that's right, Ferrari is right back with the reliability of their engine. Everything seemed like an easy breeze for Leclerc. He was plus 12.5 seconds up on his competition, and it seemed like he'll go again for the win in the fastest lap. But on lap 27, the Ferrari has started to drive slowly on the track. Leclerc reported a power loss, and the team wasn't able to fix it, something that Red Bull did on Sergio Perez's car in Miami. This has opened the track for Verstappen, as he would take the championship leadership if he wins the race with Leclerc out of it. Chico was coming close to Verstappen on new tires, as the Duchess failed to pass George without DRS. However, when he asked his team to let Max pass him in order to fight George with working DRS, the team replied that both of them are on a different strategy and he should stay back. Verstappen has entered the pits for a fresh set of the soft component tires, managing to cut 2.5 seconds per lap and reaching out to the top two drivers in several laps. George Russell didn't follow his movements, and it was already late after the first lap that Verstappen did on the new tires. In addition to this, Russell was passed from Chico due to him having fresher tires and a better performing car. So, when Max came close to Russell, the Brit entered the pit lane for a tire change. And the interesting factor of team decision has happened here in Red Bull's team. It's true that Max was performing much better than Chico, on fresher tires and different strategies, but when Chico was asked to let Max pass, because, again, they're on different strategies, Chico said, "That's unfair." But okay. He seemed to be pointing out the unfairness when he asked the team to move Max so he can pass George and gain a position. Anyways, Red Bulls finished P1 and P2, securing the second 1-2 of the season after the long pause from 2016 Malaysia. We forgot something, didn't we? Oh yeah, the Finn. Valtteri Bottas was absolutely amazing throughout the whole race and the qualifications. He finished P6, and he could have been P4 if the team tire strategy was better. However, he could be extremely happy with this position, and he's continuing to show us what kind of a driver he is when he doesn't drive under the shadow of a champion. So, the podium was completed by George Russell on P3, who continues the lone driver that managed to finish top 5 in all races so far. Sainz finished P4 with Hamilton, Bottas, Ocon, Norris, who battled with tonsillitis throughout the whole weekend, Alonso, an amazing climb from P20 to finish in the points, and Tsunoda. We hope that you liked our summary and, more importantly, you liked the race. If you liked our analysis and believe we are the right F1 channel for you, leave us a like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications. That way, you'll be up to date with all of the novelties revolving around the F1 world.